Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Georgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I'm back with another episode of Beyond Wrestling, where we take a look into wrestling's past, present, and future. And on today's episode, I will be talking about the first time I met a wrestler or wrestlers because this story took place back in 2004, and I kind of wanted this to be like a little story time type of episode since we're in the Christmas time, and people love to tell stories. A lot of times they like to talk about all the old stories and everything, and so I want to share with you guys and girls who may watch a cool story about the first time that I met Evolution. And not only that, in Evolution, at the time it was just three members, because Randy Orton had got kicked out. So, they had Triple H, Ric Flair, and Batista. And I think at the time, Randy Orton, he had became the world champion or whatever, and then they had kicked him out or whatever. And also, he had some problems behind the scenes, which led to them doing that, But you know what the funny thing is? I have a great picture of when I met him. And, well, not him, but I could have met Randy Orton, but they had sent him to the back, I guess, to keep kayfabe, which is, the character, And this happened back in 2004 at a live event, or a house show as they call them. And my dad, he was going to, present a art picture to Ric Flair. And that was such a cool thing because I did meet some wrestlers before. Actually, it goes back to like my elementary school days. But anyways, I'll talk about that one in a minute. I want to talk about the Ric Flair and Batista and Triple H thing because I was so shy. I think I was like 14 years old. And I think I was in the 6th grade, I believe, 6th or 7th grade. And I met those guys, and my dad, I think he contacted them through the internet or something, and he was able to present Ric Flair with an art picture, and it had like a big collage or so of Ric Flair's biggest moments in his wrestling career and everything, and everyone was so nice backstage, and the referees was talking to me. Triple H was real cool. Ric Flair was really nice, and I think out of all of them, I think Batista was one of the nicest ones, because and I met him again in the year after, and he gave me some cool advice about dealing with bullying and everything because, he was bullied when he was growing up, and, he's just really cool, down to earth guy, and it's nice to see that. And before I go on any further with this episode, I would, actually, I'll show you guys the picture at the end of this with me and Triple H them, so you can see it, because I don't want to mess up this whole audio thing. And then we got this loud ass dog next door, which that can really affect my recording, which is why this episode is going up a little later than I would like. So I'm trying to hurry up and get this done before the stupid dog goes loud. But anyways, but yeah, I met them guys, and the referees really took to me. And one thing is, like, when you're backstage and everything, when you're talking to those wrestlers, one thing you have to do is you have to treat them like they're people, like they're just like you, a normal person. Even though they happen to be famous for their job that they do for a living, they're still people. So yeah, I really enjoyed that time, with those guys, and just getting to, meet them was just a surreal experience, and they made me felt like, like I was one of the boys, so to speak. And also, I met Kane in that same day, and this was back when he had. This was a year after he had took the mask off and everything. And the funny thing about that was, when I met him, he was on his phone. He was on the phone with his wife, and I guess they were arguing or whatever. And he got off the phone to talk to me. He got off the phone to take a picture with me. I don't know what it was. I think maybe he was happy to get off the phone with her. Or I don't know all the personal details, and it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, the fact that he did that, and he was like real cool, and very talkative and everything. I was like, wow. I'm still speechless even now talking about that. So, and it was just a really chill locker room back in that time. And I still, and that's one of my favorite pictures that I cherish to this day, with Evolution. But I lost the picture with Kane. All I have is just the memories of it in my head, because I can picture the whole thing in my head. And I met the Japanese wrestler Tajiri, William Regal. He was real cool, but he even then he was real dialed into studying his old wrestling tapes and getting better in the ring and everything. And William Regal, real cool dude, And but actually, let's take another step back into a couple of years before me meeting Evolution and everything. The very first time I met a wrestler was actually the cat Ernest Miller. And also I met Kevin Nash too, within the same year of 1998. WCW used to come down here to Shreveport, Louisiana, I will say at least 2 or 3 times a year, if I'm not mistaken. They came down here often, because WCW was a southern-based, wrestling organization. And so whenever they came here, me and my dad, we always went. And WCW was very affordable to go to, unlike WWE is today, where it costs like $35, and that's just for like sitting above the ring. Wrestling tickets are high as hell these days. But and I'll be talking about how much wrestling used to cost in another episode or so. I'll definitely get into that. But yeah, we went to WCW quite a bit. And my very first experience there, was meeting the cat Ernest Miller. And the cool thing about it was my dad designed a wrestling hat for him. And so my dad surprised me by having the cat Ernest Miller come up to my school while I think we was on lunch break, and he came up there, and you guys should have seen me. I think I was maybe 9 or 10. No, I was 8 years old at the time. Yep, I was 8 or 9 years old. And I was so shy. I was literally scared, like, cause man, I didn't know he was that big in person. Like, that's another thing is wrestlers you think you see them on TV or whatever, and they don't look as big. They still look like they can kick somebody's ass, but when you see them in real life, they look really huge. And I was hiding behind my leg, but then cat Ernest Miller, he was still really cool about everything. And then eventually I warmed up to him. I'm still kind of like that to this day when I meet new people in general. I'm a bit shy or cautious, because you just never know how people are. And but yeah, the cat Ernest Miller was real nice, and he chilled with me on my lunch break. And then it was just I felt like the coolest kid in the school that day. And also I met Kevin Nash too, which I think I would say a couple of months or so after that. I met Kevin Nash. Me and my cousin, my dad, he drew a cool art portrait of Kevin Nash. And and WCW guys, they were the security guy that was over everything, he was such a real chilled guy. And I think, like I said, wrestlers can tell if you're a good person or not, and I think they knew we were good people, and so I think that's what made them all gravitate well towards us, especially me. So, and Kevin Nash was real nice. And I know online you hear all these shoot interviews and everything about how much an asshole he is and all of that. But then again, in the wrestling business, you gotta look out for yourself. It's a pretty cutthroat business. But when I met Kevin Nash, he was one of the nicest people ever. You know, I don't remember like the whole full interaction with him, but I do remember taking a picture with him, and I do remember, him being a real cool guy. And I don't have any bad things to say about Kevin Nash personally, because he could have just been mean and told us to get on or whatever, but he wasn't. And that's one of the really fun memories of what made me love wrestling, what made me become a bigger fan. And I will admit, I'm more of a WCW guy in terms of wrestling, in terms of the old school stuff. I was more of a WCW guy during their 96, 97, 98 years, and even some of the 1999 stuff. But it's because of my experiences meeting those guys that made me just a bigger fan than I already was. And and those experiences there and meeting Evolution, that will always stay with me forever. And I cherish the pictures that I still have left with me today. And actually, I met Kevin Nash like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I got him to sign my wrestling art book. And I'll share that on my Instagram, which is Georgio _ ASMR. And I'll share that on Thursday as a throwback Thursday, so you guys can see the autograph that he left me on my little book or whatever. And I told him about the time that I met him, and Kevin Nash even then was really nice. And so I'm so happy that I got to experience that, and that's the whole purpose of this video, is to share with you guys some of the stories that I do have with meeting wrestlers. And and I would love to know, have you guys met any wrestlers in person, and what was your experiences with them? How did they treat you? And I know nowadays you can get a retweet or a like from a wrestler, but it's something completely different to meet them in person, and you really get to see what they're like. And it's all about how you approach them. It's all about how you talk to them and how you treat them, because like I said, they're people too. And and as long as you look at it like that, they'll be cool with you. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this little story time with me, and stay tuned, because we got more Beyond Wrestling coming to this channel. I know with it being the holidays, I may not have as many videos up, but you guys know that I don't do stuff just to be doing it. And my next couple of videos or whatever, they're gonna be something of great quality. And I really hope that you guys would like what you see, and if you do, let me know in the comment section. And I appreciate your free time on this channel. Until next time, you all be safe, be blessed, have a blessed holiday season if I don't hear from you. And I will see you next time. Also, stay tuned at the end for the picture. Peace out.